All right, good morning. It's Wednesday, April 28th. Here's my breakfast. Same breakfast every day for the last few days, but still tasty and all you can eat. And heading out on the trail today after breakfast. It's 8:07, so probably. All right, thank you. A 8:45 or so. All right, just waiting to head out. There are several hikers that stayed in tents last night. I think it's $10 a night, and you still get a shower and breakfast and laundry, so not a bad deal. That's just where the music hall is there, jutting out to the left. And again, this is where I will was staying. Anyway, heading to the trail here in just a few minutes. All right, just got dropped off. This is where I went southbound 2 days ago to the testing with my boots on. Went for 13.5 miles, and this is going northbound, so be heading to Damascus. Here comes the owner's wife who dropped me off. Just turned around. These are the hardcore Cascades. Someone wrote on there, "Get water here," and someone else wrote, "Don't tell me what to do." There's the AT all bundled up into one. Pretty little fall. Of course, like most of them, I just enjoy the sound of them and the sight. Just coming down the rocks. When I get to cross over, I got a giant boulder to use this time, so that's nice. Continues on down the hill. I'm just a little over a mile and a half into today's hike. Everything feels great. Trail is nice. I'm in the shade, and the sun's not fully out, but it's just about out. Good start to the day. I'm 4.25 miles into the trip. Today's hike, I'm only doing, I think, around 7 miles, less than 8, I know. So that's good. Just break the leg back in, bring it back in gently. Just a pretty hike. I'm walking just a little bit slower, maybe a 1/4 mile an hour slower, which doesn't sound like much, but it actually is, especially over the course of a day. This is just a beautiful view I came upon, and just when I saw it, even though it's at a distance, somehow it has this intimate feel to it, like I'm looking in somebody's window of their house where I'm not supposed to be. I can't see any detail. I do see a cell phone tower, so that's good news. I just see several homes, roads, and just beauty. Definitely enjoying being back on the trail. I'm 1.9 3/4. Just been a very smooth and not very fast hiking day. It's been very enjoyable. Visited with a couple people. There is a sickness going up and down the trail right now. I passed a couple who had been at the Station 19 at the last shelter who were just taking a zero there because they started vomiting and diarrhea. And I just talked to a guy coming north. He's doing a southbounder. He said about 40 miles between Damascus and Boots Off Hostel, where I'm going tomorrow. Same thing's going on. He said no diarrhea, just vomiting. So I don't know what it is. I think some of the people were at the Boots Off Hostel that I'm planning to stay at tomorrow night. So I will talk to them and maybe change those plans. I'm just standing on a rock outcropping, looking at that view, heading back to the trail. Just a few feet off trail. So anyway, the day's going well. I feel good. I'm packing a little bit of extra water because I'm not sure. I'm going to stop at a tent site up here. I'm not going to go to the next shelter, and it's within the next less than a mile to the tent site. And then call it a day. Another cool set of rocks just popping their head up out of the earth. This one they took the advantage of to paint the white blaze on. And that tree's taking advantage of the protection of the earth, and then nice little place to go hide in there, I imagine. I'm sure a lot of animals use that little pathway. I think I'll pass. Let's see, it's 4 in the afternoon. Did about 10.5 miles today. Kind of took my time. It took me over 6 hours. Had a couple stops along the way. There's a bee landing on my leg. Go away, bee. And visited, people, had lunch, took my shoes off and rested my feet, that type of thing. And this is definitely stealth camping. It's my first time to camp in a campsite. There's probably, I guess, a tent could squeeze in here if somebody's really needing to, but not much room for another tent. So it'll probably just be me tonight. So that'll be a first. No storms or rain or dew. So that's why I was trying to get close to this hostel coming up because of thunderstorms tomorrow night. So if I decide to stay there, if everybody's sick, I'll just move on. I don't know if you can see the trails just right over there going past me. So not far off. In a valley of rhododendron bushes. And I don't think I have cell coverage. Might have enough to get a text out, I don't think, to make a call, but I'll check. Anyway, it's beautiful, great day. Felt good, legs felt good, feet felt good. And there's one thing, I'm coming to some conclusions on the trail, so I'm going to switch to a view of me and then do those thoughts real quick. All right, I'm sitting down and resting now. I got my Crocs on, my shoes and socks off. And I guess there was something I was going to say before I got started, but I already forgot what it was. So, it was about water. Fortunately, when I stopped about 3 miles ago, I got extra water and I carried it with me because there's no water source here. So I still have over 2 liters of water, so I got enough to cook tonight. And I only got 7 miles to the hostel, and I passed a couple water sources before I get there. So I got plenty of water tomorrow, so I'm in good shape. And, one of the comments that people think and believe, and is true to, I guess, some extent, is that the trail changes you. And I've just always assumed that it's something that happened and that others would notice, but maybe I wouldn't. And I think what I'm realizing is that it's more of a metamorphosis that is, I can see and feel it as I'm going through it. And at least the example I have right now is that, so far up till now on the trail, I was trying to really plan it out. I like to know where I'm going, how far, what the elevation is, where the water sources are, if there's preferably a shelter, because generally there's more tenting sites, and I was always worried about the bubble and the number of people coming, and that would limit my choices, or even one maybe not be available. And hey, Mom, sorry about the hair sticking out. I'll just brush that back. How's that? There we go. And I would, kind of got caught up in that mode, that planning mode. And, I guess I'm not going to call myself a big planner. Some people here had their whole hike planned out for every shelter, how far they're going to go every day. And obviously they knew that wasn't going to last, and it didn't. Usually it doesn't last more than 2 or 3 days, if that much. So I didn't go to that extent. I just like each evening to kind of look at and get a general sense of what I'm doing tomorrow. Well, a specific sense of what I'm doing tomorrow more than, and so I'm gravitating towards just having a general sense. I've talked to so many hikers, especially, these few days I had at Station 19 were actually, they weren't wasted. It was wasted non-hiking time, but I made use of it. I talked to a lot of hikers. I was always there. They were coming in and going out. And the more common now, and it just didn't feel like it was at first approach, is, I'll just start hiking, and then one guy, about 6 o'clock, then I'll start looking for a place to tent. And he just doesn't worry about it. He doesn't look at water sources or anything else. He just gets water as he goes, and he needs it. And, maybe he checks, an hour before, like 5, just to see what's ahead of him. But it's just very, the trail will provide. There'll be something there. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not quite to that extent, but I've changed. I think I just like the idea of getting up and hiking. And like today, I wasn't quite sure where I was going to stop. I was pretty sure I was going to try to go to the next shelter and do that many miles, but I ended up doing about 10 and a half, and found a nice campsite along the trail that's not listed in any of the guidebooks. But I'm got my place for the evening, and I'll be able to settle in and relax. So anyway, I think that's one of the changes. It's a long-winded way of saying that's one of the changes I feel like I'm going through. Instead of being so maybe focused on, like, driving to Houston. Okay, we're gonna leave at X time, and we're gonna get there by this time, and we're gonna beat this traffic, and we'll just get everybody out of the house when we can, and we'll get there when we can. We'll see how that goes, but I'm loosening up a little bit. Maybe that's the way to say it. So I'm going to finish getting camp set up and figure out what I'm going to do for dinner tonight, and back to my early bedtimes. I imagine it'll be pretty dark here by 8 o'clock, at least by 8:15 or so, and I'll probably be ready for bed then. It is 6:20. Sun's about to go behind the hill over there that I was up on a couple hours ago, and I have finished camp. I've had my dinner, delicious something with green beans. It was good. There's my bear bag tied to the side of that tree. It's an earth sack, so you don't have to hang it. And it's been fun. This is one of my favorite campsites. Not because I'm alone, which I will enjoy in the morning as I pick up camp without worrying about noise or light. But the trail just runs right by me, and I've had 4 people come by. 2 I knew, 2 I didn't, but visited with them all. And the last guy, Washer, is the Indian gentleman, and he was just telling me about some other folks. It kind of feels like I'm sitting on my front porch, and some neighbors are walking by, so we stop and visit for a while. If I had a pipe with me, and this would be the time I pull it out and smoke it and relax, but I don't. So I'm going to finish getting everything inside the tent, get the tent set up the way I want. It's only 6:20, so it's a good hour and a half before bedtime. But with the sun going, it is now behind the hill, I will be going to sleep with light in the air still.